I have become so inspired by the women that I've interviewed. It has done something for me internally, really. It's just grown my heart so many times to see the beauty that is out there and the impact that women are having.
This is Don't Fear Grit with Rob Taormina. Marketing strategies and advertising technologies to help you build a better business.
Hey guys, welcome back. And today on the show, we have someone pretty special who not only created her own product, a brand new product, she's got a really cool background in nursing, but she's all about empowering women, which I think is so incredibly important. And so I'm so honored to be able to have her here on the show, and I just want to welcome her. Thanks so much for coming out.
Thank you, Rob. It's a pleasure to be here.
Oh, you're welcome. Before we start, I want you to give our audience some context of who you are and why you're here, which is really about this celebrating a woman sort of concept. So let them know who you are and everything that you're doing.
Okay, well, I'm a registered nurse by profession, and that has afforded me the opportunity to do many, many medical missions and love and serve all over the world.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it's been fascinating, and all because of the gift of being a nurse.
Yeah. What are some of the countries that you've been to?
Nigeria, Liberia, Ethiopia, Greece.
A lot of the IAs.
Bahamas.
Bahamas.
So just providing medical care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
how many years have you been in sort of that line of work?
I've been a nurse for 20 years, and I've been doing the mission work, medical work all across the world for about 10 of those years.
Wow.
Yeah, the last 10.
Holy cow.
And
that's
so,
incredible. I've actually known a few people that have been in that line of work, and anytime they come back, they tell these amazing stories. But one thing that I get from it is how hard it is. I mean, it's really laborious to be a part of some of these mission trips as it relates from the medical world, right?
Yes.
And long hours.
Long hours.
You know, you don't have the same sort of access to resources like you would in a hospital here. And
not even, sometimes you don't have running water and electricity and the
my gosh.
what we consider the basics.
Yeah.
They're not basic in a country
Yeah.
that's either been through war or, acts of nature, things like that.
You know, I know working stateside, I mean, obviously in your line of work, you're saving people's lives every single day. But, when you go outside of the States and you're in these other, areas, saving people's lives is sometimes the simplest of problems for them that could cause something really dangerous. And you being there literally is the difference of life and death.
Yeah, it's been an amazing way to love and serve and use skills that I have to help somebody else.
Yeah. You really care about human beings, don't you?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So that also then evolved into my work with celebrating women. I write a blog and I publish it to 8 social media platforms.
Wow.
With the goal of demonstrating that every woman is a role model.
Yeah.
So what we do is we tell their story. Sometimes, women are invisible, and I try to provide a platform that they're not invisible, and share their value and their worth, and in turn they inspire another woman or young girl through their stories.
Yeah. So you do this by telling and featuring the stories of other women. So you interview other women?
I interview other women.
Okay. How many people have you interviewed so far?
60.
60.
Yeah.
The big 60. Holy cow, that's a lot of interviews.
It sounds like a lot, but when I had set a goal for 365 interviews, and then I want to publish a book like a devotional, one woman's story for each day of the year.
Love it.
But so then when you hear 60 compared to 365,
you got some ways to go. Yeah, okay. But you are well on your way, though. 60 people, that's incredible. And I'm sure you have a few stories that stand out. Can you just sort of tell us, what's some of these stories that you're hearing from these empowering stories that you're hearing?
One story I heard was a young lady further out west. Yeah. She is a mechanic. And what she does in her spare time.
Breaking the stereotype.
Breaking the stereotype.
Love it.
B, what she does in her spare time is teaches other women how to keep up the maintenance on their cars, maintain their cars, so that they're not maybe dependent on somebody else to do that for them. So it's really, her work is so empowering.
Absolutely.
And I have become so inspired by the women that I've interviewed. It has done something for me internally, really. It's just grown my heart so many times to see the beauty that is out there and the impact that women are having, and they don't even realize it. And so when Celebrating Women publishes their story, and they get to share it with friends, and
Yeah.
we're really celebrating that particular woman.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a great opportunity.
Wow.
Yeah.
One of my aunts is actually, not anymore, she's retired, but she was a mechanic. And I got to be honest, she was a better mechanic than anyone that I've ever experienced in my life, ever. And I know I'm biased because she's family. But honestly, she was able to build a really great sort of like loyal clientele and a great business. And she had her shop, I guess is the right term, down in Virginia. She was amazing. She was like the sought out mechanic. And she was amazing. So I firmly believe that, there's no such thing as like gender only roles. I think it's nonsense.
Right.
So I'm
agree.
totally on board with what your mission is here,
Thank you.
and I'm seeing it firsthand. And even my wife, 2 years ago shared her story. My wife has an incredible story, but this particular one had to do with our triplets. We have triplets right now. They're 9. Which is amazing.
Yeah.
We're surviving. I should have a t-shirt that says I've survived triplets. But she herself has an amazing story about even, how she was born. She was born several months premature, where the doctor said that she would never sort of, make it through the night. And, 38 years later, she's still here and strong. And, my wife is an attorney and, and definitely is breaking sort of that mold. But she talked about this whole role as a woman, of not even just a role as a professional woman, but a role as a mom, at how important of a job and the value there as well. And she's told this story and it went viral, and which is crazy. And this past month we got a message. I have an employee that also is from Serbia. And my employer reaches out to me and we're like, you were just on the front page. Your wife was just on the front page of our paper. I'm like, what are you talking about? And sure enough, my wife's story made it to the front page of the Serbian newspaper, translated in Serbian, which is crazy. And it was this whole premise of the strength of women.
Yes.
And I believe, like you're saying here, is that there's been a little bit of neglect, without a doubt. And but I think that 2020 is the year of the woman.
Oh, most definitely.
Right?
Most definitely. Even just seeing, whether you agree with their politics or not, 2 women candidates is
That's
striking.
incredible.
Yeah, for president. So.
I think the fact that they're just candidates, whether or not they win, I think inspires probably a lot of people.
Yes. It is. And that's what the whole Celebrating Women movement is about, is I'm sharing other women's stories, but they are also sharing inspiration and encouragement for another woman.
Yes.
And so we're really, it's a ripple impact. And from my point of view, this work with women's equality started over 100 years ago.
That's right.
But it's incumbent upon each generation to continue on.
Absolutely. Take that baton and keep on running with it,
Yes.
without a doubt. Where we've come a long way, there's still a long way to go.
There is, absolutely.
Right? So I want to really talk about your journal here. I got to sort of thumb through it a little bit. So for everyone who's not watching the show, but they're just listening to the show, she really has Diane, right?
Yes.
You've put together a beautifully crafted book here.
Thank you.
And everyone, you should definitely take a look at it, seek it out. Where can people actually find your journal, your planner?
It's
and
for
journal?
sale on Amazon. Simple as that. Just Celebrating Women Planner.
Okay.
Type that into the Amazon search.
And you'll find
right
it.
Up. Yeah.
It's really beautiful.
Thank
I
you.
love the font. I love the color. It's nice and clean. My wife is a big journaler. Obsessed, by the way. Obsessed with journaling. She tries to get my kids involved in it. And they journal a little bit. One of my daughters is more into it than others. But my wife has had a journal every single year. I think, honestly, she was born with a journal. Like, her parents just birthed her, and there she was with a journal. And but yeah, every single year she gets a brand new journal, and it's like the Bible to her. Like, she takes care of it.
Yeah.
And so if you are a journaler and a planner, I think this is a really a great compliment to your journals. And I mean, everyone should just take a look at it to see how beautiful it is. But more than just being a planner and a journal, what's sort of unique about this?
What's unique is, of the 60 women that I've interviewed so far, I've included quotes from those interviews. One for each week, surrounded by some beautiful artwork to really showcase their words of inspiration for another woman and young girl. So these aren't your typical quotes that you might have heard from either Eleanor Roosevelt or Maya Angelou. These are from the women from all walks of life that I've interviewed.
This is your neighbor. This is
yeah,
I got it.
Yeah,
I love it. Would you? I'm putting you on the spot. Okay. Would you mind maybe reading one to us? Would that be okay?
Sure. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see.
You can start from January.
You know what? I'll just open up to this one. This is
Perfect.
Kristen Summers. And Kristen is actually a lovely woman and a mother of 2 beautiful children. And that is her job.
Yeah.
She's a stay-at-home mom right
Yeah.
now. So don't ever feel like you're not good enough. Life is full of trials and errors, and your past mistakes do not define who you are today. Overcome your fears. Take chances. Don't live with regret. Do what brings happiness to your heart. Live a life worth telling a story about. You are beautiful and brave. That's Kristen Summers.
That is incredible. I mean, honestly, can I have one of these? Is it just for women? Because this makes me feel so good about myself after reading something like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's a platform for the women.
Yeah.
But then it's also a platform for other women to look to for inspiration and encouragement.
Yeah.
We can't all aspire to be Beyonce, who is beautiful and fabulous, has a fabulous business,
Yeah.
and a great voice.
Right.
But we can't all aspire to be
Sure.
Beyonce.
Yeah.
Even though she's got several characteristics that would be considered a role model.
Sure.
But we can read stories about other women who are
Yes.
just like us.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it will heal this generation of women.
Yeah.
And also possibly save the next generation from going through what we've been through. And they can take that baton and they can go forward.
I
on
believe
their
that.
journey.
I love the fact that this is like a collaboration. You're involving a whole group of women to be a part of this. You know,
Yes.
one thing that I teach regularly, whether it be at our workshops or here on the show, is that life's not meant to be navigated alone. We have been created to do life together.
I so agree.
And when we do life together, you know, one of the benefits of doing it is that the tide rises for all ships. And that means that we all then become successful in our own right. And success, by the way, is a relative term. You know, success is not necessarily, it's not just money. And I don't define success actually by money.
Me neither.
You know, I'll define success as, you know, accomplishing a goal. You successfully accomplished a goal. You successfully raised your kids. So these are all ways that you could define success. And when we do it together, we could do a better job at it. And I think what you're doing is you're basically just being more intentional about it, and you're giving other women a voice and
Yes.
a platform to do this. And I think it's extraordinary.
Thank you. It's a form of advocacy, if you will, and I think that comes from being a nurse as well. Our role as nurses, besides all the skills that we have, is to really advocate for our patients.
Yes.
And so this is a form of advocacy in itself, is giving women their time
Yes.
and their moment to express themselves
Yeah.
however they wish to
Right.
inspire another woman, a young girl. So
Amazing.
thank you.
Now I know you've done 60. You want to do 365. So you know, so this is a long-term project you're committed to. And if like, how do you find a woman that you want to feature and that you want to interview?
Well, it's simple, but yet not simple. It's simple in that any woman is invited
Yeah.
to participate
Yeah.
and be interviewed. Every woman is invited to participate. I don't decide or vet
Right.
or look at the submissions and say, oh, not this one. I've accepted every single submission and will
Yeah.
continue to do so.
Yes.
The trouble is some women will feel, oh, not me.
Yeah.
You know, oh, I know somebody, Diane,
Yeah.
but not me.
Or they lack the confidence. Maybe.
You know, and I'm like,
Yeah.
no, but I'm talking to you.
Right. Right.
And every woman has a story, and every
Yes.
woman is a role model. And
Yeah.
I'd love if you would just share a little piece of your life.
Yeah.
It's really going to impact another woman or young girl.
Yeah, I agree, and I agree that more people should speak out about their experiences, because you know we go through life and sometimes we don't realize the impact we're making on the people around us, and sometimes it's the smallest task or it's just a simple kind word that really changes the landscape for someone.
Yeah.
Whether it be you're online at a grocery store and you just pass a kind word to someone behind you, and you leave, you have no idea the impact you just made. Because in that moment, that person probably needed that.
Right.
And I'm liking it to what you're saying is that everyone has something of value to offer, and you simply just gotta sort of have that conversation. And that's why I like your conversational element. I like that you're interviewing. I like that you're showcasing, because, all of these stories are relatable to someone.
Right.
We've got over 7 billion people in this world. Trust me, what you're going through is relatable to someone.
Right.
And I think it's almost like our job, I think, to be a positive impact on other people and to be transparent of what we're doing.
Absolutely, because you are going to have an impact. It's either going to be positive or negative.
Yeah.
So you need to choose, and you need to choose wisely, and then you need to go out and do it.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, without a doubt, action.
Yes.
It's one thing to say it; it's another thing to actually do it.
Right.
So, put a little effort behind it.
And do it scared. It's okay. I've been scared plenty.
Yeah.
But courage, as we know, is not the absence of fear. And do it with somebody and do it together and bring another person along. I've done that in my nursing career as well. Like, rather than discussing something about somebody behind their back that they, maybe that they're not doing well, just grab them by the hand and take them along and show them the way.
Yes.
There's no reason to disempower somebody else in order to empower yourself.
Exactly. I loved your platform, and if someone, let's say, wants to reach out to you, they're just inspired right now by what you're sharing. Is how can people find you?
Well, Celebrating Women is all over. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, LinkedIn, Medium. We're on all the social media platforms. And then myself, personally, Diane Curley, you could just reach out to me. I'm not one of the people who I'll connect.
Yeah. You want to have that conversation.
Yeah, I'll have that conversation with you.
I got
no
you.
problem.
And so all these blogs that you're interviewing various women, that's all there. You don't take them down, right? You leave them up there for everyone to sort of see.
They're up because it's a lot of fun then to look back then. And also I'll provide updates. Like if you've already interviewed with me, but then something significant has occurred in your life. Yeah, I'll do a follow-up to your story and update. So we can all celebrate you again.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. All right. So you got your planner here that, by the way, is absolutely beautiful.
Thank you so much.
And of course, and they can find this on Amazon. Now, this is for 2020. Do you have plans of doing this, I guess, every year and creating a brand new planner?
Yes, and so then the women who interview going forward would
be featured in the next planner.
In the next planner, yeah.
All right. So then once you get to that 365, we're looking forward to this amazing book.
Yes. Then there's the book. Yes. Okay. When I get to 365, and it'll be like a devotional, so you don't read it cover to cover. You just flip it open and read some inspirational story on any given day.
Yeah. So. Now I know you're wearing an amazing shirt.
Thank you.
All right. So for people that are listening and not watching, can you share a little bit about your shirt?
It says "Empowered Women Empower Women," and that's just it in a nutshell. And we are all empowered to help another person. It's within us. It's not a superpower. You don't. It's within you. Just reach out your hand and help another person, and then you are empowering them. So by, like you said before, a kind word, even a smile is empowering. Can inspire someone. And just just be there for people. That, like, I totally agree. This life is not meant to be lived alone. And I'm lucky enough to and grateful that I have people around me who, friends who are family. Honestly.
That's amazing. So situational. I have a couple more questions.
Okay.
I'm not gonna hammer you too hard. I
That's
promise.
okay.
But you've been great.
Thank you.
But one thing, situationally, is let's say there's a person who's listening and they're struggling with confidence. They want to break out of their shell, but they are really just getting in their own way, and they're struggling to do that. Based on the experience you've had, I mean, you've spoken with a tremendous amount of people so far. What would you say? What kind of advice would you give to someone like that?
I would say to volunteer for something, right? Even in your own community. Because that will, something that you might enjoy doing, and that will get you around other people who are like-minded. They might not be exactly like you, but they'll be like-minded. And that will introduce you to people who can then help you along your way. And you'll gain confidence from being around others, and lifting others, you lifting yourself. That is a great tip. I love that. So just getting involved as a volunteer. Sure. That's a great transitional tip. Holy cow. That's deep. In your own community. You don't have to travel the world No, there's plenty of opportunities locally. The community needs a lot of help. And what a great way to get started. Right, could use your help. What a great little tip. All right, 2 more questions for you. These are the hardest ones. All right. I'm ready.
All right. I'll start with this one. What is either your a favorite book or a book that you recently read? Could be anything.
Okay. I already know.
Oh,
My
wow.
favorite book, it's such a chick book too, but Eat, Pray, Love.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah.
That was transformative. I loved that book.
Did you see the movie too?
Yes, but I like the book better.
It's always the case. The book is always better than the movie.
And I still have that book. You know, sometimes you read books, but then you'll give them away. Whatever. No, Eat, Pray, Love. I still,
Yeah. I'm with you. There's just few books that I just fell in love with so much that it goes like back on the top shelf.
Yeah.
You know, like a trophy. Like, wow, I love this book so much. All right. And then last one is, how would you define the word grit?
Grit. You know, I think grit is a very visceral word. It comes from within. It's something that's within you to keep on going. To whether it's the fight or just the act of getting up tomorrow. Grit it just comes from within, and it's motivation and it's perseverance and it's courage, all wrapped up into one little package.
Love it. That is a great definition.
Thank you.
I'm going to actually go back and write this one down and make a post out of it. That's a great little definition. I love it. Thank you so much, honestly, for coming down and joining us here and sharing your heart, sharing your passion, sharing your mission. I think what you're doing is really important.
Thank you so much for having me on. I'm grateful. I really appreciate the time.
Oh, absolutely. So one more time, tell everyone who you are and specifically where they can find you.
All right, I'm Diane Curley, and I'm on Facebook and LinkedIn. I live right here on Long Island in Bethpage. Just reach out to me for anything, and let's do this together.
And what's the name of your planner again?
Celebrating Women, Planner and Journal for 2020, available on Amazon and at Vervante Publishers, which is a nice woman-owned publishing company.
I love it.
Thank you.
Keeping it all in the family.
Yeah. Even my graphic designer that I hired and the artwork is all from women. So
Amazing.
It's like by women for women.
I love that. I love that. Well, thank you again so much for coming out. I know everyone is absolutely going to love this episode. I think you have this very kind spirit about you, and I think what you're doing is just going to resonate really, really well with a lot of people. So that's wonderful. So everyone, you guys need to go follow her, ask her lots of questions, and it's just a really inspiring. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's just what you're doing is so inspiring. Here's the planner. That you can go ahead and you could buy it on Amazon right now, called Celebrating Women Planner and Journal 2020. And I'm definitely going to have a follow-up with you, especially in advance of 2021, because I know this is going to be a constantly moving, evolving piece. And for women that are interested in being interviewed, even if you're nervous about it, at least have the conversation with you, right?
Have a conversation, because what's great about the interview is it's in a written format. Which seems to be a little maybe less intimidating for some women to be able to share in the written format than
incredible.
unspoken word.
Well, there you go, guys. You've been inspired. Go find her, get her planner. It really is great.
Thank you.
And I'm sure that there's a lot of other great stories that you're sharing on various social media channels that you can probably consume every single day. Follow her, love her, and we're going to have her back without a doubt.
All right. Well, thanks so much.
Oh, you're
great.
welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Well, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Remember, don't fear the process and don't fear grit. We'll see you next time. Take care, guys.